Is Meghan Markle really as desperate as she seems, or is there a master plan behind her latest moves? Picture this: a woman who once walked the red carpets as royalty, now struggling to rebuild her brand with jars of expensive jam and olive oil sold in American malls. But here's the catch: it's all tied to her upcoming Netflix show, With Love. Meghan, hitting screens this March. Do we really believe that a handful of high-priced products will restore her image, or is this a last-ditch effort to salvage what's left of her reputation? Today, we're diving deep into this fascinating and frustrating saga of Meghan Markle's public struggle. We'll uncover the truth behind her so-called lifestyle brand, the launch of With Love, Meghan, and why Netflix seems desperate to make it work. But that's not all. Behind the cameras, Meghan's past actions have led to major backlash, with accusations of bullying and scandalous reports. Will this new show be her redemption, or will it crash and burn, just like so many of her previous ventures? Stay tuned, because we're about to break down everything you need to know. Let's talk about something that's been making headlines for all the wrong reasons lately. Meghan Markle's latest business venture, her so-called lifestyle brand. Now, I know what you're thinking. Doesn't this sound familiar? The last time Meghan tried to launch something big, it ended in chaos. Remember her lifestyle site, the American Riviera Orchard? A grand idea that's still collecting dust, surrounded by legal troubles and no real sales to show for it. And now, here we are again. Meghan is hoping that her new Netflix series, With Love, Meghan, and her high-end products like expensive jams, honey, olive oil, and even wallpaper will somehow be the magic ticket. But the real question is, will it work? Or is this another desperate move to stay relevant? Here's where the stakes really get interesting. Netflix is heavily invested in this project, and it's not just the show, it's the entire Meghan Markle brand. To that end, Netflix has gone so far as to open 2 stores in massive malls in Philadelphia and Dallas, each stocked with her products. The idea is that by offering everything from $50 jars of jam to designer wallpaper, they can somehow bridge the gap between Meghan's lifestyle brand and her audience. But let's take a step back. Do we think this will resonate with the American public, particularly in places like Texas and Philadelphia? Let's break it down. For many people in the U.S., Meghan Markle is a divisive figure. While some may admire her independence and advocacy, others view her as a disruptor, especially when it comes to her strained relationship with the royal family. It's no secret that Meghan's decision to leave royal duties and move to the US with Harry was met with a great deal of backlash, especially from those who feel a deep loyalty to the monarchy. These aren't just random opinions. They come from a history of strong ties to the royal family, and Meghan's departure has caused more than a ripple. In fact, for a large segment of the population, her actions were seen as a betrayal. This brings us to the bigger issue, her image. Let's be honest. Meghan Markle's brand has been in free fall for some time now. Sure, she's known for her charity work, her stand on women's rights, and her outspoken nature, but behind the headlines, she's also been at the center of accusations and scandals. From alleged bullying within the royal household to claims of her being difficult to work with, Meghan has found herself constantly battling negative press. Just recently, a Vanity Fair article accused someone from Meghan's team of shopping a post-Harry divorce book, which only fueled speculation about her personal life. This is where it gets tricky. How does someone with such a tarnished reputation bounce back? Will selling expensive products like jam and honey really help fix a broken image? Now, let's talk about the real disconnect. With Love, Meghan isn't just a show. It's an entire brand designed to showcase her perfect lifestyle. But is it really perfect? What Meghan is offering in this series isn't groundbreaking or life-altering. It's a glimpse into her world, one that's full of luxury, designer clothes, and affluent friends. But where's the substance? The show promises no recipes, no groundbreaking advice, just the image of a wealthy woman enjoying life in the sun. Does this type of content resonate with the average person, especially when they're already skeptical about Meghan's true nature? And this is where it gets really interesting. Do you remember how Suits catapulted Meghan to fame? It wasn't because she was playing the role of a glamorous lawyer. It was because the character she portrayed was clever, assertive, and intelligent. People loved her for what she represented. But now, as we look at With Love, Meghan, there's a marked shift. Meghan is no longer the sharp, relatable character we saw on screen. Instead, she's the host of a show that feels more like a lavish lifestyle advertisement than anything else. Her approach seems to be, look at my life, look at my wealth, look at how fabulous everything is. But here's the problem. There's nothing there to connect with. There's no depth. There's no struggle. It's just a curated image of perfection. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room, her relationship with Harry. Now, while they've spent the past few years in relative seclusion, there's been a noticeable shift in their public appearances recently. The couple has been trying to show a more united front, especially with the recent wave of rumors about their relationship and possible divorce. It's almost as if they've realized that appearing together is key to salvaging what's left of their public image. So, what better way to repair their relationship with the public than to lock lips in front of the cameras, as they did recently at the Invictus Games in Canada? But let's pause and think for a moment. How effective is this strategy? Really? Sure, it might garner a few headlines, but it doesn't erase the months of speculation about their marriage. It's all a little too calculated, isn't it? Almost as if they're trying to distract from the real issues by showing affection. But the truth is, people aren't buying into it anymore. We're all seeing the bigger picture. The public displays of affection don't erase the deeper, more serious questions about Meghan and Harry's brand. Now, let's circle back to Netflix. They've poured millions of dollars into this deal, but is it working? The reality is that Netflix has had its fair share of failed projects. Just think about the short-lived relationship with Spotify. The big question now is whether Netflix will find themselves caught in the same trap as Spotify, facing criticism for wasting money on a partnership that simply isn't yielding results. As much as they try to push Meghan and Harry into the spotlight, it's becoming more and more clear that their content isn't resonating with the audience. Sure, people will watch the first few episodes of With Love, Meghan, but how long will that last? Will the audience remain engaged after the novelty wears off? Or will the show fall into the same category as other celebrity-driven series that quickly fizzle out? And let's face it, there's a growing sense of desperation surrounding this whole project. Netflix seems to be doing everything it can to make Meghan's brand work. From opening stores, to offering high-end products, to launching the show, it's almost like they're throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. But let's be honest here, does any of it seem sustainable? Do we really think people are going to flock to malls to buy expensive jam just because Meghan's behind it? Are they going to watch a show about her friendship and lifestyle and suddenly feel a connection? It's hard to imagine that this kind of brand can survive on shallow, superficial content alone. Ultimately, Meghan's brand is in a precarious position. Whether or not she can turn things around is still up in the air. But one thing is certain, this is make or break. If With Love, Meghan fails to connect with viewers, it could be the final nail in the coffin for her public image. She's running out of options. And if this latest venture doesn't work, Meghan might find herself in a much worse place than she is now. And let's not forget, she'll have to answer to Netflix, who's already invested millions in her brand. Will they pull the plug, or will they continue to push this narrative? Only time will tell. But if history is any indicator, Meghan might have more to lose than she realizes. As we wrap up today's analysis, one thing is clear. Meghan Markle's latest attempt to reinvent her image with Love, Meghan and her pricey lifestyle products is a high-risk gamble. Will this effort to salvage her brand truly resonate with the public, or is it yet another example of a celebrity chasing relevance in a way that feels too forced? The high-end products, the Netflix deal, and the public displays of affection, are they enough to erase the damaging public perception that has followed Meghan for years? The truth is, no one can predict the future, but one thing is certain: Meghan's efforts are raising more questions than answers. Does she have the ability to turn things around? Or will her latest venture fail to deliver, much like her previous attempts? And more importantly, can she ever regain the trust of the public? Or has her image been permanently damaged? What do you think? Though, do you believe Meghan's latest efforts will succeed? Or are we watching a PR disaster unfold right before our eyes? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think the public is ready to forgive her? Or is it too little, too late? Be sure to leave your comments below. Your opinion matters. And if you want more deep dives into the latest royal family news, the truth behind the headlines, and all the drama surrounding Meghan, Harry, and the rest of the royal family, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Stay updated with everything happening around and all things royal. We've got so much more coming your way. Remember, you won't want to miss any of the exclusive insights and updates we're bringing to the table. So, hit that notification bell to stay in the loop, and let's keep this conversation going.